decided to do now is to showcase the clothing and clothing accessories of my collection, which is something that you don't really see too often, you know, is the kind of promotional merchandise or employee-owned items that are part of a video game memorabilia collection. So a lot of these, I don't really know what their origin is. Some of them were commercially available at the time of the game's release and even afterwards, so you could buy them at the store. I'm assuming that some of these were employee-owned items, kind of thing like shirts or jackets that were given to members of the development team for a particular game. Others may have been prizes, kind of like a Nintendo Power used to have t-shirts and caps and things like that. If you happen to recognize one of these articles of clothing and you happen to know where it comes from, you could comment. I'd be very curious to know. So we're going to start with what I think are probably the coolest items. These are the jackets. So these most likely were jackets that were made for members of a particular development team. So the first jacket that I have here says Nintendo Super Team in the front. This is kind of like your old 90s style corduroy jackets. And if you take a look at the back of this jacket, it says Power Merchandising 1990. So perhaps this belonged at some point to somebody who was a merchandiser for Nintendo. Who knows? Now, this jacket here, probably one of the coolest items I know. It's, you know, your kind of Letterman or varsity type of jacket. It says DK Team in the front here. It's green, so kind of forest green with black vinyl, kind of faux leather sleeves. And on the back, you can see it says Nintendo. So I have an interesting story about this jacket. I actually purchased this jacket right from Dan Osen. So if you don't know who Dan Osen is, Dan Osen was part of the Treehouse, so it was the dev team for Donkey Kong Country and the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. I think he was a writer on Donkey Kong Country and like a product manager. He was also responsible, I think, but don't quote me on it, so translating games into English, writing or making the little manuals that came in the boxes with the cartridge for video games. And he was also, I think his voice is also one of the first human voices to ever be in a video game in Metroid and in Star Fox, I believe. So this was a crazy find, you know. I just happened to see it on eBay. It was him. He was selling it. I think the Treehouse was made up of like a dozen employees or a little bit over a dozen employees. So if this was truly a jacket that Nintendo made and gave to that specific development team, there may only be less than 20 in existence. So this is a super cool jacket. Now the other one here says, and once again, it's that kind of, you know, very, very 90s style jacket. It says Nintendo in the front and in the back. It says Play It Loud. So this is a really cool jacket too. No idea where it's from. Now, another interesting story, and I put this here in the series because it relates right back to the Treehouse in Donkey Kong Country. So if you're ever a subscriber to Nintendo Power, before Donkey Kong Country was about to come out, they sent out in the mail this tape, this kind of promotional tape that was about 13 minutes long. It was called Donkey Kong Country Exposed. There's a guy that went in and was interviewing various members of the Treehouse. Now, one of the members that he was interviewing, I think, was the project manager, Tony Harmon. And Tony Harmon was wearing this super groovy shirt that said, Play It Loud. And this is the exact shirt that he was wearing. So I know it seems kind of silly, you know, but this was always one of my holy grails. Ever since I was a kid, I think I was like 6 years old when I saw that video, I always wanted that t-shirt. And I have no idea how this is possible, but just out of random luck, a few years ago, I saw it on eBay. I bought it immediately. It cost almost nothing, like $10, and I've kept it in this bag ever since because I've never seen another one besides this one and the one that was on Tony Harmon's back. This here, I think, is a kind of pre-order, little pre-order gift that was included with the DS remake of Diddy Kong Racing. This was a present from somebody. Pretty sure that person was from Australia. So this is an example of a commercially available shirt. So this is for Super Paper Mario. This is a promotional shirt for Splinter Cell, Double Agent. And this one I think also has some art on the back. Yeah, so this is the back of this shirt. Now the next shirt here is probably the coolest shirt. I mean, look at this thing. It's got the front and the back. So the back here, you've got kind of Donkey Kong's back, the back of his head and everything. I mean, if you found this thing in the 90s and you were wearing this at school, how could you not be the coolest kid in your school wearing this thing around? It was an awesome shirt. I'm assuming it was a promotional piece for Donkey Kong Country. They really marketed that game. This here is a kind of like a collared polo for Donkey Kong 64. This looks like it could have been an employee item. You know, the team was maybe were given these shirts to wear around. So this is a really cool shirt. Here's another one like before, but this one is for Donkey Kong 64. I guess they wanted to recreate the magic of that Donkey Kong Country shirt. And this one as well is two-sided. So once again, he's back. So this is there's another really cool shirt. You know, these are very special kind of shirts. You'll notice I have a lot of Donkey Kong Country items. These shirts are actually some of the first stuff that I started collecting over 10 years ago when I first started collecting merchandise. And one of my favorite game series is Donkey Kong Country, so just, you know, I found a lot of shirts. So this is a promotional shirt for Donkey Kong Country. I'm assuming, once again, not really sure where it comes from. This is another one, so another promotional shirt from Donkey Kong Country. Some of these are a little faded, you know, they're not ironed. I mean, these are old shirts from the 1990s. Here's a promotional shirt from Diddy Kong Racing. Now here's one that's seen better days. Huh? This is a promotional shirt for Donkey Kong 64. These are all t-shirts, by the way, in case you can't tell from the kind of crappy video. Here's another promotional t-shirt from Donkey Kong 64. Another one from Donkey Kong 64. This says, 5 apes face a world of trouble. Now here's a really cool one. I always love the art in the Donkey Kong Country games, that rendered art. This is Diddy and Dixie in the, what do you call that, the Brambles. This is a really nice shirt. This is a sweater. So not a long sleeve tee, an actual sweater with that kind of thick autumn, you know, this kind of autumn wear. It's a Diddy Kong Racing shirt. This too looks maybe to be like a, you know, like a employee item, and there's a little Nintendo 64 sign in the back. This one's for DKC2, which is probably my favorite game out of that series. I really like this shirt. I found this not too long ago too. It's in really great condition. Once again, it's a sweater. This is another Donkey Kong Country t-shirt. I think this may have been a Nintendo Power type of shirt. Can't be sure though. And it's also got something on the back. So on the back is it says "Tame the Beast," and there you got Donkey Kong on Endguard. Now this is a long sleeve tee. This is Donkey Kong Country 2 long sleeve tee. This is a really nice shirt. I really like this one. I have multiple ones of these. I don't know where I got them, but if anybody's interested in getting one, I mean, I'd be more than happy to sell you the other ones I have. This one here, you can see it just plainly says Donkey Kong Country in the front. This says, what does this say? The Games Arena. Don't really know what that is. In the back of the shirt now, it says Donkey Kong's back. Haha. Nice pun, huh? Here's a Nintendo 64 promotional shirt with a few games on it. So this next shirt here, this is the front of the shirt. It's exciting. It's white. But if you turn around, boom, this is the back of your shirt. Blastoise number 9. Pokemon shirt, no idea where it's from. This is a Japanese Super Mario World t-shirt. Once again, not too sure where it's from. I've seen this art before. Down here it does say 2006, I think. You can see that. Yeah, 2005. Yeah, 2005. So, not too sure where this is from, but I really like this this art for Super Mario World. It's really cool. Now we've got a promotional shirt from Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. Once again, I'm not too sure if this was like a pre-order for the game, or if it's just some kind of promotional shirt, or maybe a prize of some sort. This is a Pepsi shirt. So, it looks like an early 90s era Mario, maybe pre-64. It says Super Secrets. I really don't know anything about this t-shirt. Here's a another sweater. So once again, not a long sleeve tee, but it's actually the kind of thick sweater material. It's a promotional t-shirt, I'm assuming for Mario 64, because at the bottom here it says 1996, Nintendo of America, all rights reserved. This is heavy duty stuff, man. This is a nice sweater. I obviously won't wear it, you know, because I collect it. There we go. Now this is one badass t-shirt. This is Duke Extreme. Pretty sure this came with some kind of a edition or some special edition or compilation of Duke Nukem 3D. It's a really cool shirt. This is a really nice one. I've worn this one, I admit it. You can see it's a little bit kind of faded, you know. This is a Hitman Blood Money t-shirt. I think I picked this one up at the flea market. Some random guy happened to have it, so that leads me to believe that it may have been included with Blood Money. I really don't know. Now this shirt I've worn, you can tell. This was one of the first promotional t-shirts I ever purchased back in like 2007 or 8 when I first started collecting. It's Full Gore, it's from Killer Instinct. This is just an all-around badass shirt. And you could see, unfortunately, it's faded. Should invest in that Preserves Black, you know, laundry detergent. Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, promotional t-shirt. And this one here, this one came with the game. Pretty sure it was bundled up together. I've seen many of these. These are plentiful, but it's a really nice shirt. The art's really nice. The layout's really cool. Unfortunately, a lot of these shirts are extra large, you know. So even if you would wear them, at least for me, they would just hang off.
So this is where we lost the audio for the video. Somehow it decided to stop recording the audio, so I'm going to do a small voiceover here. So this is a Turok 2 promotional shirt. This is a really nice shirt, but as you can see, it's seen better days. I wore this a lot, especially back in college. I get a lot of comments on it. I think right here in the video, I was explaining how I really liked the art. It's a nice art on the shirt. So the next shirt too has seen better days. This is one of my older ones. It's a WCW and NWO Revenge shirt, so from the wrestling game from the Nintendo 64. And this here is the final t-shirt. And this, I have a feeling this may have been something from that Nintendo Power Supplies catalog, or even maybe like a second or third prize in terms of the those contests that they used to have quite often in the magazines. So that's pretty much that for this video. I thought I would show you guys like less seen aspects of certain collections. You know, a lot of people don't really showcase the clothing. I've always really been into promotional things, and this is another facet of the promotional merchandise that's out there. So if you have any questions, post them below. Also, if you have any information about these articles of clothing, from where they come from, you know, any information you might have, I'd be very interested in hearing about the origins of these shirts and these jackets and these sweaters. So thanks a lot for watching. Check out my other videos. I'll start posting some more videos now more often. All right, thanks a lot.